Hello, welcome everyone. My name is HeatherAsh Amara, and I'm so glad that you could join us for Be Brave, creating a courageous, clear, and creative 2016. So we have over 2,000 women from all over the world that are tuning in with us. A bunch of you are live tonight. And so what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and go over to the chat and share where you're tuning in from. So if you go to the right-hand side, upper top, there's a little button that says chat, and then the chat bar is on the bottom right. Go ahead and share your name and where you're tuning in from. And then if you have questions that arise through the broadcast, you're welcome to ask on the chat feature. I'll be checking it every once in a while. And we will also be doing two or three polls together, so I'll tell you how to access those in a moment. And we will also be doing a fabulous offer that I'm so excited about. So thank you so much for joining me for Be Brave. Let's go ahead and just take a moment to connect with each other and to settle here. So close your eyes. Taking a breath into your belly. And as you exhale, make a sound and just let go of your day. Breathe out and release your day. Good. Another big inhalation. And exhale, breathing out. Beautiful. And just feeling, what is it that drew you to this webcast tonight? What about this idea of being brave intrigued you, excited you, opened you? What brought you here tonight? And just take a moment to thank yourself for coming onto this call, onto this webcast, and being part of a new paradigm is how I see it, of stepping into 2016 really consciously. So go ahead and open your eyes. So I'm broadcasting live tonight from Austin, Texas, in my new house, which is so exciting. And I also have live audience here. So there's some beloveds that are here with me as well. So you might hear them every once in a while giggling. We told them that if I said something funny, they need to laugh. So hopefully they will do that. And you need to have my applause. Great. Yay! And then laugh. Okay, they're ready. So that's good. So my name is HeatherAsh Amara, as I said before, and some of you may have never met me before or know who the heck I am. Some of you have been working with me for many, many years. So I just want to take a moment to introduce myself. I'm the author of a book called Warrior Goddess Training, which has been super fantastically going out into the world. It's been on the bestseller list on Amazon for over a year now in shamanism and goddesses. And the work that I do is really about empowering women to find their true voice, to find their authenticity, and to let go of the old agreements and beliefs that no longer serve us. So I see that we're all on this journey together to learn how to be brave in our lives. And by being brave, I mean being vulnerable, being present, being honest with ourselves, and getting to know ourselves. That's really the most brave thing that we can do in our lives, is to begin to turn towards ourselves and to say, who are you, beloved? Who are you, sweetie? That we learn to befriend ourselves and become our own ally, our own support, and that we also learn to receive guidance, support, love from the outside as well. So this idea of being brave is really different than the images we might have of what bravery is. Because sometimes we think of bravery as, I'm brave, I'm stoic, I have no emotion, I'm going to push and force my way through. I am brave. But that's an old model. Being brave is really about showing up with yourself. And sometimes you feel really powerful and sometimes you feel really scared. And upset and uncertain. And so we're going to learn how to be brave with ourselves in both the tender places and the powerful places. Both are important. This webcast and the 3-part series that'll be coming, the videos that'll be coming the next 3 days, are all about how to create a courageous, clear, and creative 2016. Whenever we step into a new year, we're stepping into a new opportunity. And that opportunity is to let go of the past and to really look forward to what we want to create for ourselves. So we're going to do a little tiny visualization to clear 2015 and begin to turn towards 2016 with more clarity. I want to invite you to close your eyes and go inside. And imagine that you're someplace out in nature that's really beautiful. And it might be someplace that you've been many times before, or someplace that you've never been, but you've seen pictures of or you've imagined. Imagine this place and bring yourself fully there. Feel the wind against your skin. Feel your feet against the earth. Take in the sights and the smells around you. And imagine now that you can walk to a big open field. It might be a field of grass, a field of flowers, an empty space, whatever it is for you today. But imagine that you're walking through this field. You're going to walk to the center of this field where there's a beautiful stone circle. And I want you to invite you to step into that stone circle. And it might be stones on the ground, big round stones on the ground. It might be taller stones. Use your imagination, but step into that circle. And imagine in this circle, you can turn to face 2015. You're going to turn to face the past. And imagine that 2015 is stretched out before you. All your experiences, all the places that were challenging, all the places of beauty. And open to, what do you want to let go of from 2015? What do you want to release? So what happened in 2015 that you want to release with love? What do you want to integrate? So let the wisdom of your being open to what were the lessons and what do you want to let go of from 2015? What do you want to release? And I want you to now really bless 2015 with your gratitude, saying thank you for your year. Even if you had the most difficult year of your life, say thank you, because there were gifts and lessons within it. If you had a spectacular year, say thank you. And imagine that you can bow to 2015 with your gratitude. And now turn to face 2016. So you're going to turn around and feel that 2015 is now behind you. Just imagine that as you exhale, you can let go while you bring the gifts forward, while you bring the lessons forward into 2016. And that 2016 is about creative possibility. It's about an open field for change, for transformation. So I'd like you to feel into, what do you want to bring into 2016? What energy do you want to bring into 2016? Make it a feeling sense that you want to cultivate for your year. You could give your year a theme. What would the theme be? And just take a moment to feel what that feels like in your body. And bring it down to one quality. So it's sometimes so exciting that you have a million things that you want to manifest or feel in 2016. Synthesize it down to one thing. And just let yourself feel and open to all possibilities, to the newness of this year, and that you can step forward in a new way. Totally come into the present, because the present is where we make change and transformation. So show up with yourself. And I invite all of us to make 2016 a year where we show up for ourselves completely, where we stand beside ourselves, where we support ourselves fully, where we become wonderful allies for ourselves. Beautiful. So thanking this place, and now bring yourself back into this place and time. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and bring that sense with you of what you're stepping into in 2016. And that sense of showing up with you. As we step towards bravely becoming the women that we were meant to be, we must let go of who we've been. We must let go of who we think we're supposed to be in order to get curious to find out, who are we now? What do we want now? And we start being brave by looking at what doesn't work, what hasn't served us in the past. And what hasn't served us in the past are often agreements and beliefs that we're carrying that are unconscious. So I see it as this, that we each make conscious agreements, and that's the tip of the iceberg. And a conscious agreement is, I will work at this job for a certain amount of time for this much money, or we'll be in relationship, and this is the agreements of our relationship, for example. And that underneath that iceberg, there is all the stuff that's under the water, that's not visible, which is the unconscious agreements. And those unconscious agreements are what cause us to struggle and suffer. They're the agreements we make as kids, and they're often really connected to emotion. And so an example of an unconscious agreement is if you were in the car with your mom one day and you were singing and you loved singing and it was so exciting, and your mother said, "Stop singing." And maybe right then you made the agreement, I don't have a good voice. Where the truth was, maybe your mother had a really bad headache and she needed you to stop because she's about to go into a migraine. But then we take information and we make up stories and we create unconscious agreements. So you can imagine the same girl that when she's an adult, someone says, "Hey, sing us a song." And she immediately, "I can't." What's happening is that an unconscious agreement is arising and limiting her in her present. So the unconscious agreements limit us. In order to transform and change those unconscious agreements, we need to be brave enough to turn to face them, to ask ourselves, what are they? To be curious about what we're telling ourselves that's not true or that doesn't serve us. So we're going to start with a little poll to explore what are some of the things from the past that we don't want to carry forward. So Christy, if you can go ahead and put that poll up. And I'm going to click over, get closer to you. So the first poll is around, what do you want to release? What do you want to let go? And in order to see that poll, all you need to do is go on the upper right corner. There's a little button that says poll. And if you can click on that, that will show you the poll. So the question is around, what is it that we want to let go of from the past? What do we want to release? Hand raised. So what are you ready to release? So people are starting to vote. Fear, self-doubt, judgment, procrastination. Those are the 4 that I picked. So feel into it. You're going to pick one. Fear. Is fear what stops you the most? Is self-doubt? Is judgment? Is procrastination? So go ahead and vote. What's the one that seems to be the most challenging for you? And right now, self-doubt is winning by a mile. Okay, followed by fear, and looks like procrastination's creeping up there. So how do we release self-doubt? How do we release our fear? How do we release our judgment? How do we release our procrastination? We start by naming it. And then without making it any bigger than it is, without judging, I shouldn't be fearful, I shouldn't be in doubt, that does not help. But to simply say, I'm in doubt now. And to recognize that anytime we're in doubt or fear or judgment or procrastination, that's something that we learned. Little kids are not born with a ton of fear. They're not born with self-doubt. If you've watched little, younger than 2 years old, they're like, rah! They're alive, they're full. They're creative, they're curious, they're in awe of everything. Okay, so we learned how to be in this way. And that's what we're learning how to release. To release the ways we don't trust ourselves, to release the ways that we put ourselves down, to release the ways that we go into fear rather than into possibility, and to release the ways that we procrastinate and we hold ourselves back. And it is possible to let these things go. It takes a willingness, a bravery, a courageousness to tell ourselves the truth about what we're telling ourselves. And then a willingness to look at what do we actually want to create. So let's look at that next. Self-doubt, 1 on that poll. And the second poll then is around what do you want to create? What do you want to step towards? So Christy, when you're ready, you can go ahead and put that poll up. Here's the thing that I've been sharing with people is that one of the things to remember about making transformation in our lives is that we learned particular behaviors. And it doesn't mean we get to blame other people. Oh, it's their fault. If I had had a different life or if they had treated me differently. Because what we're doing then is we're giving other people the power. And we're not able to change anything because it's they did it. We didn't do it, they did it. So regardless of what happened in the past, that we honor the impact it had on us, and that it's not our fault, and that it doesn't help to blame others or blame ourselves. So now we're coming to the second poll. The second poll is, what do you want to bring into your life? Voting has already started. What do you want to create in your life? More creativity. So when an obstacle arises, you're like, yes, okay, let me get my creative hat on and figure out how to get through this. More courage, so that you feel courageous, that you're strong as you move through your life. More clarity, so that you have a clear sense of what you want, what your direction is, and that you have a calmness about you as you move towards it. Or more peace, that there's this sense of peace within your being, and that you're open, regardless of what's happening, that you maintain and hold that peace. So right now, clarity is number 1 of what people want. I love how it changes, because earlier today it was creativity. So followed by courage. So what's so beautiful about naming, being brave enough to name what we want to create, what we want to bring more of into our life, is we start with, what's the craving? What am I wanting more? What do I want to fill myself up with? And so let's say clarity. I want more clarity in my life. Then we anchor that as our direction. Okay, so I want each of you, whichever one of these words that you used, I want you to use this word as an anchor point, as a guiding light, as your North Star for 2016. Okay, and your bravery is around making choices that lead you in that direction. We sometimes think, well, if I know what I want, if I want more clarity, then it's going to be easy to get that clarity. Or if I'm going to be creative, if I know what I want to be creative, then I'll just be creative. But it's not that easy, okay? Because there's these old agreements and beliefs. And so what we want to do is play with knowing I want more clarity. And then directing ourselves towards the choices that help us to become more clear, and also pay attention to what rises. That's between our. What I see is that whenever we set an intent like this, what we're doing is we're planting a seed. And either we're going to step into that, we're suddenly going to become peaceful, or we're going to become totally clear, which rarely happens. Have you noticed that? Because there's other things that need to be cleaned up. And so if you can recognize setting intent, what's going to happen is two things. One, guidance and support will start coming in. And two, you'll start to see all the places that you're not able to hold that. You'll start to see the places that you're confused, or the places that you go off base, or the places that you make yourself small. So what do you want to bring into your life? Use that as the focus point, so that when a choice arises, you can ask yourself, what will bring me more clarity? What will bring me more courage? What will bring me more peace in this moment? What choice will help that? And that'll help to guide you as you also get bigger to open to what agreement or belief is arising that's keeping me from this. One of the things that I am focusing on my work this year is clarity. And what I've been watching is that what gets me off target is when I know what I want, but then I don't follow through on it sometimes. Okay, so my secondary word is boundaries, to have really clear boundaries. And that's an incredibly supportive thing for me right now. So keep feeling into how can you support yourself. And I also want you to imagine this. This is really fun. I want you to imagine that if your word was creativity, that you're surrounded by women that are creative. So feel what that would feel like. You're surrounded, you're in a community of women that are incredibly creative, and that you can feel that in your body. If your word was courage, imagine that you're surrounded by really courageous women. What does that feel like? So you can learn from each other. If your word was clarity, to imagine yourself with a group of women that are really clear, that are focused, that know where they're going. Feel that energy, take it in. And if your word was peace, imagine yourself with women that are peaceful. What does that feel like? And this is something that's important for us as women, is that we learn through our bodies and through putting ourselves in situations with beings that are focusing on the same thing. And that doesn't have to be in person. Okay, it's great if you can create that in your life in person, but here's the truth. If you start to imagine that feeling sense, it will translate into your body. You'll feel that support. So use your imagination. Let's do our third poll. Christy, if you could pull up the third poll. And the third poll is about, what are you willing to change? Okay, so another place to be brave. That we're brave in facing what's not working. That we're brave in getting clear about what we want. And that we're also brave in what are we willing to change? Because it's easy to stay safe. It's easy to continue to do the same thing over and over again because it's familiar and it feels safe. But it takes courage to do something new. And so we must have that bravery and that willingness to make change. So this new poll, what do you need to change? Old agreements and habits, making myself small, listening to my disaster mind, or putting things off. Okay, so voting is happening now. Feeling into, picking one, you may recognize yourself in all of them, but picking one, where do you feel like you need to make a shift, that you need to make a change? So right now in the voting, old agreements and habits way in the lead at 45%. And then things are jostling a little bit between the other three. But right now, for sure, old agreements and habits, which is so important to transform. So for some of us, we make ourselves small, and that's what needs to shift. For others of us, we listen to our minds too much. We believe the disaster that our minds is telling us, and that causes a lot of suffering. For some of us, we put things off. Okay? And each of those things also, those actions come from old agreements and habits. So we come back to, what are you willing to change? How can you be brave to do something different, to take new actions? So that when you're faced with a situation, that you're able to stop and feeling, instead of just reacting in the same way that you would react to it, that you're able to have enough spaciousness within yourself to stop and listen and ask yourself, how can I be brave? How can I face and look at what the old agreement is so I can change it? How can I learn to not make myself small, but to really show up? How can I learn to stop listening to my disaster mind? And what does it take to not put things off? And I can tell you what it takes. There's one thing. It's a big thing. But what that thing is energy. Every agreement we've ever made takes energy. Okay, I'm going to say that again because it's so profound. Every agreement we have ever made takes energy. So if you can imagine the 1 or 2 agreements you've made in your lifetime, which is really like the millions of agreements, the thousands of agreements that you've made in your lifetime. Each one of those takes energy, which means that by the time we become adults, we usually don't have enough energy to make change. If you have an agreement that has this much energy, and you have, I'm going to do it this way, you have this much energy, what wins? What you'll see right away is this has more energy, it's going to stay. You can't change it because you don't have enough energy available. If this agreement has this much energy and you have this much energy, what happens is you just go right through it. You just go right over it. You don't even notice that there's an agreement there because it doesn't have enough power. Energy is power. And so what we want to learn to do is raise our energy to match or exceed the energy of our agreements. So those big, big agreements means we need more energy. And this is, as women, how we get to be brave in our relationship with ourselves and with the world, is that we want to learn how to bring more energy into our being. And for most of us, we've learned how to release energy. We've learned how to give energy away. It's part of how we were taught. And so we give energy without even recognizing it. We leak energy. When I look at most humans, what I see is that we're like colanders, and we're constantly leaking energy without even realizing it. So that's what I'm really passionate about teaching women, is teaching women how to learn to bring more energy into their being, to gather more energy, to hold that energy, to learn how to hold it, and then to learn how to direct that energy about where we want to go. So all those things are vital. So it takes an incredible amount of bravery to learn to change these old patterns where we let go of our energy, and to learn to call our energy back. There's an incredibly powerful practice, Toltec practice, called recapitulation. It's one of my favorite tools. And recapitulation is a process of going back into the past to gather your energy so that it's available to you in the present. And that's the first step, because even if you're able to gather energy, if you don't know how to hold it, what happens, and you may have had this experience where something exciting, wonderful happens in your life, you get full of energy, you feel really excited, and then the next day or a couple days later, you go back to kind of your normal state. And so it takes awareness to learn. It's a new skill to take in energy and then learn how to hold that energy. And then as we learn to hold our energy, to create what I call a container for ourselves, and to cultivate containers in our world, support teams in our world, then we can also learn how to direct our energy. Where do we want our energy to go? And that's when we can start making huge changes in our life. So how do we do this? We need support, we need guidance, we need help. And we need a source of energy. Okay. So that source of energy is our energy, learning techniques and tools to bring our energy back to ourselves, to gather our energy back. But also something that's incredibly helpful is to have a support system of beings that are doing the same type of work to support us. That we have a circle, that we have a container. And women throughout the ages have been coming together in circle. And I really believe it's because what we're reminding ourselves when we sit in a circle, we're reminding ourselves and teaching each other how to bring our energy back. I've been facilitating women's circles for the last 25 years, long, wonderful time. And I've seen so much change happen within women that are being held in a good way. And what I've found is that while it's really wonderful to be in circle physically, to be physically with other women, it's also incredibly powerful to be with women online. So even this circle tonight, I think probably you can feel the energy that's been building as we've come together. And that there is a container that we're creating together with our willingness, just to be willing to show up, then allows you to rest into the energy of this circle and to know you're not alone. So one of the things that I want to share tonight is about a program that I have that's called Warrior Goddess Training. It's called Ignite, and it's all about energy. That place of how do we light ourselves up so that we have the access to our own energy and that we're skillful in how we use our energy. And that as we increase our energy, as we fire ourselves up from the inside, that we're able to see the old agreements that no longer work with us and not go into judgment about it, not go into fear, not go into I shouldn't have this agreement, because that really does not work. Or why did they do this to me? That doesn't work either. That we shift out of judgment and victimization. That we let go of blame. And that we step into curiosity. Where have I put my energy? And that we start to use tools to gather our energy back. And to bring that energy from the past, which so much of it is stored, so much of our energy is in the past, that we gather and bring that energy into the present, and that we are in a container, we're in a support system where that's welcome. And this is especially becomes even more true if you're in a difficult work situation or if you're in a difficult family situation. Then it's even more important to have a circle of sisters around you that are holding you and helping to build the energy. What I've found over the years of doing online programs is that I've seen women make incredible changes in their life because they finally feel seen and supported. I've seen women create great friendships with each other, even though they've never met. Women from South Africa and Australia, like becoming best friends because they are finally seen. Women that are from different parts of the States finding really deep friendships with people. And like-mindedness and compassion. Because really what we're yearning for is to be seen. I learned this from my apprenticeship with Don Miguel Ruiz. So I was blessed to work with Miguel for many, many years, and I now teach with the Ruiz family. And Don Miguel's the author of the 4 Agreements, for those of you that don't know. Really incredible, incredible book. And when I first became an apprentice of Miguel, what he told me is that I'm going to loan you some of my energy. until you can find your energy. And I'm going to teach you how to bring your energy back. And that's what he did. And how he did that was with his love and his compassion. And I've learned how to also do that and cultivate circles where there is this fierce love and this fierce, I want to see you and know who you are, which is so different than what we have in the world. So many of us, when we go into the world, what we're told is, I want you to be who I want you to be. I want you to be something different. Or we tell ourselves that you should be something different. So it's a big rewiring to be with a circle of women that are saying, we want to know who you are. And to also have a container where there's extra energy available. And what that energy is love. When we lose energy is because we're in fear. When you're around people or you're in relationship with people, whether it's in person or online, it really doesn't matter. But when you can feel someone that is unconditionally loving and present with you, that changes everything. When you feel like no matter what I bring to this person, they're going to show up with me, that changes everything. I know that's what changed everything for me. And I love gifting that to women because really, truly, there is nothing that you can bring that would cause me to shut my love down for you or reject you. Because I see your beauty. I see the light that you are. And I know that sometimes we have challenges and manifestations that are difficult. But that really all of us are craving being seen. And having someone or a group of people, even better, that are steady with us. And we can see this in the Warrior Goddess Tribe. So if you haven't had the opportunity to visit the Warrior Goddess Facebook page, it is phenomenal what's happening there. And I really support you in going and joining that page. It's a public group that there's so much beauty that's happening there. Women supporting women, not trying to fix, not trying to caretake, because that's an old model as well. But really saying, yes, I see you. Here's what my experience has been. And so there's this way that we're holding each other accountable, which is really important, as well as just in love, just in presence, just in, yes, you can do it. And when you're held in that, what happens is eventually you start to believe, yes, I can do this. When you're with a tribe of women that are saying, we can release the past, we can let go of the old agreements, and that we recognize that the agreements that we're carrying, they're not ours personally. Okay, sometimes, yes, they're from experiences we had in our past, for sure. But so much of what we're carrying is from the dream that we're in, is from what we learned from our parents or from our religion or from our peers that are what we've all learned. Okay. As women, what I've noticed is that as women, we have a lot of external freedom nowadays. We have the freedom to vote. We have the freedom to choose who we want to mate with. We have the freedom to work whatever job we want to have. There's a lot of external freedom. But what I've seen is that we're not that free internally. We're still chained to our judgment, to our self-doubt, to who we think we're supposed to be, to wanting everyone to like us. There's a lot of ways that we're not free on the inside. And what Warrior Goddess Training, the book, as well as this online program, which is a 9-month program, is about getting free on the inside and giving you the tools and skills and support to become free. The reason I made the program 9 months is because 9 months is a cycle of birth. And it takes time to rewire ourselves. It takes time to birth ourselves anew. And so it's not about, okay, let's just do this 4-part series and I'll be done. It's 9 months because we're gonna go deep with each other. We're really gonna look at what are the old agreements that are keeping us stuck, that are keeping us trapped, and skills and tools to unweave them. The first 3 months of the program are about creating a new foundation, committing to ourselves, aligning with life in a new way, coming back into cycles, rather than linear thinking, and purifying our vessel. We're starting to really see ourselves as a temple and working with the emotional body, the physical body, the energetic body, and the mental body. So we create a whole new foundation in the first 3 months to stand on. And I think about that as that we are tearing up the old foundation and putting a new foundation down. It's not like, oh, let's just take this old wobbly foundation, I'm gonna put something on top of it because it's still gonna be wobbly. No, I want us to go all the way in, take the old foundation away, put a new foundation for ourselves. And then the next 6 months are so exciting. The next set of three is about then learning about our energy, learning how to bring more energy in and hold energy. So we go through how we root, how we connect. We go through exploring creativity and sexuality, which is so important around energy, and also our will, how we learn to hold our power. So the next 3 months of the program, you have a new foundation. First 3 months. Next 3 months, you'll learn incredible skills around energy and how to be in relationship with your energy in a new way. And then the next 3 months of the program, the last 3 months, are about how you express in the world, how you bring yourself out. We go inside and then we bring it out. But we always start with new foundation, raising our energy, and then the clarity of how do we then bring this out? How do we interact with each other? Because that's challenging. Be easy, right? If we went someplace far away and just were with ourselves. But damn, there's people and they have stuff and it's complicated. And so how to stay steady, how to be courageous, how to be clear, how to be creative when you're interacting with other people. Even when there's huge drama outside, you can still be at peace. Even with everybody is unclear and doesn't believe in you, you can still have clarity. Even if you're in a scary situation, you can still be courageous. So we learn to work that internal world. So I'm going to check for a moment to see if there's any questions, and then I'm going to show you something really cool. So I'm just going to check the chat for one moment. Yay for the Facebook group. Groups in Denver, Colorado. So for those of you that are wanting local circles, there's 2 ways that you can connect in. So we have a lot of different book clubs, Warrior Goddess book clubs that are happening all over the country. So if you go to warriorgoddess.com, you can get a list of where book clubs are happening. And there may be one in Denver, Colorado, I don't know. But check that out. We also have facilitators. So I have a Warrior Goddess facilitator training, women that are being trained to lead classes and workshops. And so some of them are listed on the ones that are just starting to teach are listed on our website as well. So warriorgoddess.com, and I believe it's .com/circles. Check that out. Also, if you want to get local women together and you have a space and you have motivation, start your own book club. Call women together. And we have a list of questions that go along with the book that are a great format for creating those circles. If you want to go deeper, and don't have to be either or, if you want to go deeper, I invite you to step into this journey with me of Warrior Goddess Training Online and to really commit to yourself to grow, to make 2016 the year that you come back to yourself. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. It's exciting. Oh, good. And Christy just posted. Yay for book clubs. So Christy at Warrior Goddess. So my sister is behind the scenes and also in the next room. I love that. And so if you have any questions, you can always email her, Christy at warriorgoddess.com. She is the logistical goddess. I love you too. Great. Tammy said she found an awesome one in her area. And you can also search for Warrior Goddess or just do a meetup. Ooh, I like that idea. Awesome. Just scrolling really quick. Beautiful. Okay, sweetie ones. And yes, there are some groups in Canada, so check it out. We actually have groups in South Africa, Australia, that's the right word, and Canada as well. So the movement is growing, and we're in a way, we're in our infancy. So the book came out a year ago. So we're still building the tribe, and it's growing exponentially. So is the online teaching where you teach us how to hold your energy. Exactly. That's what you will learn in the online training, is to work with your energy, to look at what agreements are causing you to lose energy, how to shift those agreements. I'll teach you recapitulation. I'll teach you a process called cord cutting, which is incredibly powerful. It's about looking at the lines that we carry forward from our ancestors, from our parents, from our grandparents, because a lot of what happens is that we're carrying forward really old agreements. They're not our agreements, they're our ancestors' agreements. And so this practice of cord cutting teaches us how to separate what we don't want to carry forward, and then choose what gifts from our ancestors we want to bring forward. And I'll also teach you how to talk to ancestors that are supportive. So even if your family's crazy, there's some ancestor in your past that's supportive. I guarantee it. I've seen it happen over and over again. I might create one in South Korea. Yes, South Korea, please. We need you. Great. I'm so glad that you're loving the Warrior Goddess books. There's also a companion book, and I'm in the process of finishing up the next book, which is called Warrior Goddess Way, which is super exciting. Puerto Rico, yes. And there is facilitator training as well. So the facilitator training starts in March. So if you want to learn how to facilitate, how to be a leader in your community, then you can check out that program. And if you want to check out what else I'm up to, I do a lot of power journeys. I have Warrior Goddess weekends that are happening. There's one happening this weekend in Austin. I'll also be doing one in Chicago and Austin again, and Sedona. So please check out my website, HeatherAshAmara.com. Two websites, warriorgoddess.com and HeatherAshAmara.com. Christy can probably post those for you so you can see where I'm at. And if you want to step into a journey with me, which is a really intimate 9-month journey, please join me in the online course. It starts in 2 weeks, and I'm going to hand walk you. I like to think that I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through birthing yourself anew. And the Warrior Goddess training online, what you get for it is a weekly lesson. So there'll be video and writings every week, and the focus. And that's what I've seen is so helpful for us. It's so easy to get off track. But when you have a place that every week you know this is the focus, then that helps to guide you on your journey. You'll also get a live call or webcast with me every month. Is it a call or a webcast? I think it's a webcast. Yes, it's a webcast. And so we'll do this connection, and you can chat with me, and we'll do a piece of the teaching. So that's one way that the teachings get imparted as well. And every week we're also going to do a half-hour question and answer. And this is something I just added because I felt really passionate about this. That so often we learn from each other. If one of us has a question, it relates to everybody. And so what we'll do is live together, we'll have 1 or 2 women come and say, this is what I'm working through. This is what my issue is. And then I'll walk them through how to gain their energy back and how to get focused. And that then so often applies to everyone. I also, as part of the program, have videos from women that are my mentors, that are the women that I have deep, deep respect for. There's a lot of interviews that are part of the program as well, with women like Anna Forrest, who's my yoga mentor, Stephanie Bennett Vogt, who I just spoke with today, who's an amazing space clearing person, and my friend Ginny Gent, just a lot of different wonderful, wonderful interviews as well that are part of that program. So I want to show you the sign up form for that and just walk you through that a little bit. And there's something really cool that we can do, which is screen sharing. We just check emails again. Hi, Mexico. Hi, Montreal. I don't think we have anything in Italy yet, but you could start something. And I believe the book has been translated into Italian. I'm not positive, but I think it has. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So yes, for creating circles. And you can email Christy and she'll help put you on the website if you want to be put on the website. And just check the website and you'll find out where the circles are. So online training. I'm going to share my screen, and this is super fun. So as I come close, you get to see my breasts. Even more close up. See, they laughed. It was good. Okay, sharing. All right, so sweeties, now you can see the sign-up form for Warrior Goddess training for Ignite. And here's the crazy special. Christy and I dreamed this up today. So the crazy special is this: 2 for 1. So what that means is if you have a friend that you know wants to do something fun or that you think would be interested in this, you can call her up and say, hey, I'm gifting you this training for free. Or you can say, hey, I'm doing this training, do you want to split it with me? Okay, so we're running this 2 for 1 special for the next 4 days, 3 days really, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days. It'll end Sunday at midnight. So 2 for 1 is crazy, but that's how passionate we are and excited we are about sharing the work. So reach out. For those of you that are already part of the training, so we have about 50 women that are already signed up for the program, you are also going to get this special. So you also can go invite a friend and bring her in. I'll be sending an email out to you about that. Okay? So the program's January through September. And learn how to fully reclaim your energy from the past, cut cords that keep you tied, and align your energetic, emotional, physical being. Yes, it's good. Now I want to talk a little bit about what we'll be doing together the 9 months, moving through self-sabotage, fear, and doubt, healing heavy ancestral familiar patterns, embracing our power. And that also, as I'll scroll, and you can look at this more in detail later, that this right here shows you what you get as part of the training. And there's a couple bonuses as part of the training. Those videos that I talked about, the other bonus is that I'm starting a program called A Year and a Day. And I'm not sure exactly when that's going to start, but it's in process, so it'll be starting fairly soon. But I'm really excited about A Year and a Day, and it'll be daily little bitty emails into your inbox for inspiration, as well as podcasts and more videos of me interviewing super cool women, and so you'll get that for free as well. And here's the overview of what we go through with each of the months, so you can see what each month brings for the program. Now let's talk about, there's the dates. And I want to talk about the cost, because for some women, this is like the place that feels scary, because it's so sometimes hard for us to commit to ourselves. I'll go back to that page in a moment. So the training, you can pay for it either in full or monthly. And I'm really passionate about creating programs that are accessible to everyone. And so the monthly payment then allows a lot of women to do it that might not be able to come up with the big chunk all at once. But I want you to think about it this way. The program, if you pay monthly, is $119 a month, so a little bit over $100. If you paid in full, it's $12.49, I believe, or $12.99. I'll go look at that again in a second. And that, I just had a massage last week that cost me $120. That was an hour. Okay, so if you think about it in that context, like if you get any professional service, it's over $100. It's an hour or an hour and a half. This program will guide you every day for the next 9 months and beyond, because even once the 9 months is gone, you'll still be part of A Year and a Day. So then you'll get to continue. And the beautiful thing about having the membership site, which we have as part of Warrior Goddess training, is that the teachings are always available. Everything's recorded, and you can go and look at the teachings at any time. I also make sure they're always available in audio as well as video. So if you like to download and go for walks and listen to the teachings, you can do that. And the beauty is that it can be 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep, go watch a video. I've talked to a lot of women that have done the program that listen to things over and over again. So if I just really support you, if you feel called, invest in yourself. Invest in your internal freedom. Let's make 2016 the year that we say yes to ourselves. Because so often we put everybody else first. But what I know deeply is that when we start putting ourselves first and healing and gathering our energy back, everybody in our life benefits. Everybody benefits, not just ourselves. So it's not selfish to put yourself first, to say yes. And it's also vital to get support, to be held within a circle, to get the tools that you need. For the years that I've been doing this work, I was thinking about this today as I was driving, and this week I have this huge launch for this broadcast, and there's been a lot of learning curve around the technology, and a really beautiful sister in our community committed suicide. And there's just been a lot. I just moved last week, so there's a lot going on. And I was driving today, I was just feeling like, I'm so glad I've had all the teachings and I've learned as much as I had, because I'm happy. There's a lot changing, but I have this resiliency inside of me. And I've seen this in the people in our community. Our community is very resilient because we've learned how to be flexible, how to let go of the places of rigidity, how to call our energy back from the past. So that's all really powerful. Yes, and I know Hillary just wrote, I can't wait to start. I know some of you signed up 3 months ago with me, and we've been waiting, and it's almost here. So I'm so excited. So 2 weeks, we start, January 27th. So we start on a Wednesday. The calls are the fourth Wednesday of every month, 1 o'clock. So for those of you that are international, sometimes that 1 p.m. Central Time works better, and 8 o'clock. I do 2 broadcasts a day. And then we'll do half-hour question and answer every Wednesday as well. And glad you're listening to the boot camp, Mumsy. It's good, huh? You don't need to have read the book. So it's not necessary. You'll learn a lot as you go along. For those of you that haven't read the book, go get it. It's good. And when you buy the book, you get an 11-day boot camp for free. So you can go check that out on warriorgoddess.com. For those of you that feel like you can't make the financial commitment right now, join the Warrior Goddess Tribe page. Stay connected. You'll be on the mailing list, so I'll let you know when things are happening in your area. For those of you that are interested, that are like, oh, I don't know, say yes, commit to yourself. I promise you it will change your life, because it's all about you reclaiming your energy, your vitality, you igniting your passion, your curiosity, your creativity, your courage, which is what we need to thrive. And my passion is about helping women thrive and bring themselves forward and really learn to receive in a new way so that we can be in service from our full, powerful selves. Let's see. So I'm just checking if there's any questions. Central New York. I've been coming to New York quite a bit. So I don't know if there's a book club, but I'll be coming back to New York in March. Check my schedule. Check the page. So again, warriorgoddess.com. You'll get a lot of information around it. So check in with us if you have any questions. And I'm going to go back to the page again for one moment. Share. So there's the button to join. Go ahead and jump on over to that link. Christy's going to post it several times. And I'm also going to send out a recording of this class. And then remember, it's not done. This is just the first part. Then we also have 3 more days of videos. So I will be sending out the first video tomorrow morning. I'm going to record it right now after we get off this call. And here's how you join. Just click on the Join Now button, and it's going to take you to this online subscription where you can either choose to do in pay in full, $12.99, or by subscription. And complete order. Once you complete the order, what's going to happen is that another window will pop up where you can write down who your friend is. And if you don't know who that friend is right away, then you can email us later. I'm going to send you a link. For those of you that sign up, I'll also send you a link that says, here's where to sign your friends up. And then on the 27th, we'll walk you through the membership site and how to join that membership site and how to get all the teachings. We'll start the train in that way. And next 3 days, in your inbox tomorrow morning will be the first video of our 3-part series. then Friday morning and Saturday morning, you'll also get videos. So we'll go deeper into some of the things that we've been talking about around courage, around clarity, and around creativity. I thank you so much for joining me tonight. I see there's a lot more questions going by. I'll go through, and I'm going to create a frequently asked questions document. And so I'll look through each of your questions and answer, and I'll be posting that and sending that out soon as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us, Christy@warriorgoddess.com. That's CHRISTY@warriorgoddess.com. Or you can also email me if you have a personal question, HeatherAsh@warriorgoddess.com. And certain computer requirements for the course. If you're able to watch this broadcast, you've got the computer you need. So you're good if you're on. So that's the only requirement that you need. And again, everything is recorded. This is what I love about this program, is that even if you can't join us live, you can listen to the recordings at any time, and that every week you'll get new information and new guidance. And I'm also creating something this year, which will be super fun, is that part of the 9-month program, there'll be the basic teaching, and then there'll also be the up level. So I give a lot of information. I give a lot of energy. I really want people to get things. And sometimes people go, whoa, too much, HeatherAsh, too much, too much. And so what I'm doing is I'm simplifying everything. So if you just need a taste, if you just need an inspiration, if you just need a touchstone, that will be part of the program. And then there'll also be a link of go deeper. That's not required, but if you're like, yeah, give me more, then you'll be able to go at depth. Okay, so nothing's required. There'll be, here's the basic teaching, and then there'll be, here's the deep dive for those of you that want to explore. And if any of you have questions around boot camp, if you bought the book but you haven't got boot camp, you're trying to figure it out, email Christy. Okay, any questions? Christy's your gal. She's fabulous. And she's my sister. So, or I'm her sister. We're sisters. Okay, so I think we're good, sweetie pies. So I'm going to leave the chat on for a while so you can continue to chat with each other, but we're going to stop the broadcast now. And thank you so much. I look forward to being in your inbox tomorrow morning with the next video. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I really would be so blessed and honored to have you join the online training. Super excited about it. We're going to have an amazing circle. So get a friend. You have until Sunday at midnight. Yay. Join in. Much love to each of you. Thanks so much for joining me and the over 2,200 women that were part of this broadcast. And much love to each of you. Have a blessed evening. Take care. Bye-bye.